The other hot button issue people are talking about is abortion. Are you pro-choice, pro-life?
I got 3 grandkids, and anybody want to kill their baby is stupid.
So you're pro-life?
I'm pro-life. They need to go back to capital punishment.
Really?
I believe that.
Okay.
Because now they just smack them on the hand and go.
So what do you mean by capital punishment?
Capital punishment, death.
So you think we should bring back capital punishment?
I do think they need to bring back capital punishment.
You seriously can't make this stuff up.
As far as protecting children, if there are institutions that have abused over 10,000 children, should they be allowed to operate in the U.S.?
I don't know who that organization would be as far as abuse of 10,000 children. I don't know who that would be, but obviously not.
It would be the Catholic Church.
Yeah, dude. That's not true. I got to cut this loose on that because that's nonsense.
Really?
That's nonsense.
You think that's nonsense? Oh, interesting.
The constant posturing and moral grandstanding of religious right-wingers shields them from confronting reality and coming to terms with the unfortunate dark truths that come with the bastardization of religion.
We need to abolish abortion, no exceptions.
So this says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And that's from the Bible?
Yeah, from Jeremiah 1. Right. So God knows these babies in the womb. He has a purpose and a destiny for each child. They shouldn't be killed.
Didn't he kill all the firstborn sons in Egypt?
I think I'm done.
To you, this Bible story may be completely meaningless or maybe a metaphor for a different issue. But to the people whose worldview is directly crafted by the Bible and all of its problematic stories, hearing pushback like this shatters the insulated thought loops that are inherently a part of Christianity and other religions.
You consider yourself pro-choice?
Yes, pro-choice.
Are you upset that Donald Trump appointed the justices that overturned Roe v. Wade and took that choice away from so many people?
I don't think it should be taken away, no.
And it doesn't bother you that Trump appointed the justices that overturned Roe v. Wade?
It doesn't bother me at all. I think he's the best man for the job. We have nobody else that is...
But he did take away the choice for a lot of women because of that. That doesn't bother you. Now women don't have that choice.
He must have something in place. If he made that decision, he's a great businessman, and I'm not going to go... You know, he's a great businessman, and I'm going to let him say what he wants to say, do what he wants to do.
Unsurprisingly, Trump supporters exhibit a very similar, if not the exact same, blind faith in Donald Trump as they do toward whatever God they may pray to, which unfortunately has led to more and more Americans confidently spreading all the beliefs that Trump and his base represent.
I'd like to get back like it was in the 60s.
Before all the civil rights stuff?
Before all the civil rights stuff.
So you would like to see things go back to before the civil rights movement?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You know, where people have their freedom in this country.
Well, certain groups didn't have as much at the time, right?
Right. They didn't have as much at the time. But we still got to get back.
Don't come here illegally and take over our country and then try to change it to be your country. Finish the wall. He's got to finish the wall.
Even up here in New Hampshire, that's an issue.
Absolutely. And I really didn't think it was. And now I'm noticing. You know, it's just little things that happen every day. And, you know, then, it's a month. And you go, wow, it is. You know, it.
How do you feel it here? Like, what are the little things here?
Jobs. You know, jobs are being taken by people who, you know, don't have a social security number, they're not paying taxes. And where do you go? What do you do? You know? But yet other people who want to work can't get in.
Shut down the border, come up with a process where people can come in. And I believe wholeheartedly that we should have some type of roundup. If you don't report in by March 31st of next year to some town police department or something like that, and you don't have a card that says you should be here, and you get found here in somebody's kitchen or in a butchery or in a field or something like that, don't blame us. So we have to regulate who comes into the country and who's paying taxes, okay?
It's a free-for-all, drugs, and people coming in that are criminals. You know, there's people coming in getting $2,000 a month. I'm getting to the age of collecting Social Security. I paid into the system since I was 14. And quite frankly, I'm going to get about that amount, maybe slightly more. So that's a problem for me. We have too many handouts that we can't sustain.
This is the cruelty that Trump and the Republican Party represent and feed off of. And this barely scratches the surface of the real hatred Republican voters harbor.
Our country has taken a radical shift towards the acceptance of really child mutilation, what's going on with the transgender thing. I mean, even in our school that we have in our town, there are 2 girls that identify as horses, and our principal and the teachers, they just turn a blind eye and accept it and say, you have to accept them.
What town is that? Where is that school?
That's in Iowa City. Yeah, so it's terrible what's happening in this country. And I want to tell you, we see that. We see what's going on in Minnesota, where they just passed a bill which is basically taking the rights away from the parents concerning their children. If they want to go get a sex change as a child, they can do that. All they got to do is tell a teacher or principal. So it's disgusting what's taking place in this country. And we're
do you put that on President Biden at all?
No, absolutely. It's all coming from the Democrat left. You know, Biden gave a speech, a Christmas speech. He never once mentioned the name of Jesus. Donald Trump has repeatedly talked about Jesus and talked about him being the joy of Christians everywhere and Americans everywhere and the reason for the season and everything else. I mean, Donald Trump, he's actually talking about Jesus at his rallies. And we're not deists in this country. This is not the country of Thomas Jefferson, who was a deist. This is the country of John Adams. He said that this republic was formed for religious people and will function for none else.
But it was Jefferson who had the Articles of Religious Freedom, which also said that...
Which we love that he secured those religious freedoms. And then in that sense, Donald Trump also did too. He signed executive orders to secure religious liberties and freedoms from under harassment from the government and bureaucrats.
Do you think there is that we've blurred the line between church and state too much?
Absolutely not.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, like I said before when I quoted John Adams, this republic was formed for religious people and will work and function for none else. If we do away with the Bible, we forget that it was the Bible that inspired our founding documents. We know we need a radical shift in this country, and we saw what Donald Trump did with 4 years of his presidency, and we know he could have done a lot more if he would have been allowed to. But we're in an uphill battle, we know that. And we know that this battle isn't just against flesh and blood, but against principalities, spirits, and powers. Ephesians 6 talks about that. What we're seeing is an awakening in this country and a returning to godly principles, godly morality. We have no more tolerance. Tolerance is not a virtue in the Bible at all. Tolerance means to simply turn a blind eye to the convictions you once held. And that is going to be gone. We're not going to be tolerant of sin. We're not going to be tolerant of the woke agenda, of the radical left. And Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. That's very clear.
You heard from the horse's mouth, no tolerance, no acceptance, and most importantly, no respect for the humanity of anyone who doesn't believe in their specific flavor of Christianity.